for sure to win. You're a spineless tail.
Hello and welcome to Pirate Radio episode 24, guys. As usual, I'm Greg, and joining me is Commander X and Cadus, and you're here to listen to yet another week's TF2 action, or European TF2 action, really. We've got a few little bits of American news actually this week, come to think of it. But why don't we get straight into the main bit of gossip first, and we'll start off with the, really the only bit of gossip, which is the Prem Team 2 Strong folding. They kind of had issues with coins and Taimu and stuff like that, so they had a little bit going on. But Zavi, I think you've got the full gossip, so why don't you let us know?
The official reason was basically GDK didn't want to play anymore, Tai didn't want to play anymore, Coins is still away for another couple of weeks, and Taimu was just like, fuck it, I'd rather just play Shoot Mania than like forcing a team of people who half a team to PCW unofficial. It just wasn't worth the effort, so he just pulled the plug. And I can't blame him, really. Half your team's not there. One of the players is quitting at the end of the season. Nothing else.
Yeah, I've seen him playing Shoot Mania a little bit the past couple of days, and yeah, I kind of guessed that was the main reason behind it. But his motivation is a massive thing in these teams. If you can't get the team together to play, then that just like takes away from it completely. So, while I agree with them like folding, they could have just scrambled teams to play together to play their last few officials, play the season. Yeah, exactly, and same as some teams have done in the previous season, rather than just folding, because like their results actually mattered, I think, against some of the teams. Like the QN game, I think, from QN's point of view, they got points against Too Strong, while Deserto didn't, sort of thing. So that would have like meant that QN would have been safe in their sixth spot, and now they're not. So it does make a little bit of difference points-wise between some teams, but I don't really remember all their results, so I can't go into more details about that. I don't know if you've got anything more, Cadus.
I think it affected Crack Clan quite harshly, because I think they were still yet to play Too Strong and were still in contention to steal fourth place. Like they had us and Too Strong left to play, and then they dropped the full 6 points to us, and if Too Strong hadn't folded, they could still have made it, but because Too Strong folded, that just put them out of it straight away.
Yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate really, and that's why you should do what Deserto did. But I guess like from Tiny's point of view, he would have had to organise that, and that is a bitch. Like the only reason that I was happy to do it with Deserto is because Skeege volunteered just to keep going and sort everything out. So I completely understand going from that point of view. But yeah, from Crack Clan's point of view, I do understand that they might be a little bit disappointed in that. But I don't know, what did you use your result versus Too Strong, Cadus?
I think we had to play them as well still. We never got to play them either.
And do you know what Punchline did against them?
I think they lost. I can't remember really though.
Yeah, maybe it was 3-3 or something, but I don't know. So, yeah, it does affect it a little bit. But I guess both of you would have been even footing against Too Strong from the TCM and CC point of view. You'd have been playing against the same Too Strong team, this like random put together of players that you probably would have both got 6 points out of anyway. That just folding still doesn't really make that much difference. Anything more to add, guys?
Boo-hoo.
So, do you reckon these players will come back? Any, Taimu, is he gone for Shoot Mania for good?
He's gone
come back for next season?
Until one of two things happens. Either Shoot Mania dies, or he gets like buried beneath the vast pool of superior players. He'll come back to TF2 where he actually has a hope in hell.
Yeah, so once all those Quake players that actually have good rare lane come along and knock him out, then he will come back then.
Well, I don't think Shoot Mania, I'm not going to get into it, but I don't think Shoot Mania is Brink 2.0. I think it has a lot more potential. But Tamu's basically doing the exact same thing he did with Brink, where he says, fuck TF2, Brink all the way, it's going to go huge. I'm going huge at Brink, Shoot Mania. And then like he has like no like foresight beyond the next couple of weeks. So like he did it for Brink, and then he came crawling back like, yeah, I'm never playing TF2 again, Brink all the way. And then back he came. So if Shoot Mania doesn't work out for him, he'll be back. Like he's not got that much shame. He'll just come back anyway.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you know what about the other players?
Tai is not going to play TF2 anymore. He's even quit Team Germany, etc. Harry won't be coming back. Wolf and Klar, as far as I know, will still be around. They just haven't fought as far ahead as next season yet.
Yeah, well, obviously with Nations Cup coming up, next season is actually like miles away. There's actually a TF2 break, which I'm sure a lot of people are quite thankful for. Uh, but that means you get a little bit of time to look forward to look towards your next team rather than just diving straight in. Like between the previous season and this one, there was like a week off and that was it. So maybe these players will, they'll come back come next season and just take their time over teams. So
It'll give everyone a break and then come back to TF2 a bit fresher, a bit more
yeah.
enthusiastic for another season.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing about Shoot Mania while we're here is that I got a PM off, or logs off Shintaj, which said that if the Epsilon Shoot Mania team did well at the LAN and Shocky played well, he would be moving to Shoot Mania, guaranteed. And they came
They
third,
finished
which
third.
yeah, which is from their point of view is a good result. Yeah, because Slick said, I think I heard something about Slick saying that if they came top 10, he would have been happy with that. So them coming top 3 is amazing from Epsilon's point of view. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd probably be moving to that full time. Which we talked about Epsilon last week. So if you want to hear anything about Epsilon, you missed it all. Go watch last week's episode. We won't talk much more about it here, but I just wanted to confirm that all that gossip that happened, all that news from Randa. Anything more going on? The only actual pretty much team news this week is actually from the American team Quantic. They finally got rid of that bullshit sponsor of Quantic, who, oh, let's face it, I don't think they gave them anything. I think they gave them all like $100 worth of Razer gear, and that was it. Or maybe it was like $300 worth of Razer gear to every player, and that was it. And that was like, it wasn't even like money they got given. It was like vouchers for the Razer website, who were Razer sponsors, which meant it was free for Quantic to give them that. So I don't blame them for dropping that sponsor whatsoever. I don't know if you guys heard much more about it, really.
I remember Clockwork saying something like last LAN, which they won, he won like $5 or something because all the winnings basically. Oh, did they come second? Whatever.
Yeah, they came second.
Whatever. Some LAN they won quite a lot of money really, and they won like $5 because they just had to put it all back into the travel and whatnot because Quantic gave them fuck all.
Yeah, so that meant that they went teamless, I think, for orgless for like less than a week. I don't know whether they got approached by this new org, which is Leviathan Gaming. Leviathan Gaming, I don't really know much about them. The only thing I know is that they used to sponsor a team that was in intermediate in the previous season. Is that right? Did you guys? I think they won.
Sigma's team, who were definitely in intermediate playoffs last season, but
yeah,
it gets a bit fuzzy after that.
I'm pretty sure they won intermediate last season. Is that the Leviathan Gaming or was it somebody else? I don't know.
It was certainly
Gaming or something.
One of the teams won. I
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. Let's keep guessing teams for a while.
So, from my point of view, I don't actually know how much or what they've offered the Quantic boys, but for them to go, move from Quantic to LG, I think they're probably offering them more than Quantic did towards their, travel towards the next LAN pretty much, and that's what the guys will be looking for, I gather. So, hopefully that helps helps those ex-Quantic guys out, and they get to another next LAN and actually win some money rather than winning $5 like they did at the previous one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything more to add, guys?
Nah.
Nope. Awesome. Right, so now we're just going to pretty much go on to the results from last week. There wasn't really much else, gossip-wise or team-wise going on. We'll bring some stuff in later after all the results and after the upcoming games. But Xavi, why don't you go into the results for the past week?
Should we go? Okay, let's start. The first result is Infused beat Deserto 6-0, which is pretty unsurprising on all accounts.
Apparently, Infused were a little bit shocked because Deserto went 3-0 up or something. I don't really know.
Badlands was
Yeah.
6-3, so I think they went 3-0 up at the beginning and then just got rocked.
Yeah, I PM'd Seb and I was like, lol, what's going on? And he's just like, head in his hands sort of thing. I heard that Dunk muted after 5 minutes into Badlands and didn't unmute for the rest of the game. Both maps.
Be a personal best.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know whether that's true or not, but yeah, that's quite funny. But obviously Deserto going 3-0 up against Infuse, it's not something that they want that to happen. It wouldn't happen at all. Did manage to bring it back, so 6-3. And then I think it was 2-0 Gravel Pit. Was it Gravel Pit the other map? Yeah, 2-0.
Right,
So.
yeah. Next is TCM, the Quarantine, which was 5-1 with, I can't remember which way. One of the maps was a golden cap. Was it Obscure and it was a golden cap? Or Gullywash? Gullywash was 4-3 to TCM. Obscure was 3-2 to TCM. I can't remember which one was the golden cap.
Gullywash was the golden cap.
Yeah, can you tell me about that game, Cadis? Because I had like Josh PMing me after the game saying something about the server was awful and everyone was complaining, and then like they had a massive ping lag outs or something. Was there a lot of whining going on? What happened?
Well, we joined up to our server to begin with, and the scouts had high ping, so it was fine. We went to a new server, but then the server we went to was like, it was absolutely fucking awful. So after the first map, I was like, not playing here anymore. Let's find another server. And we eventually went to Epsilon server. But before we actually got to Epsilon server, I had to have a 10-minute argument saying that just because their medic as well as me were having horrible lag issues, that wasn't a good reason to stay on the server just because we were both lagging like shit. Like, he seemed to think that because both of us were lagging, we should stay on the server.
It's equal on both
even,
sides.
like, it was just ridiculous. So eventually we went to a new server, and it was fine for everyone.
Okay.
And eventually their player had to leave and go to work because they thought it was a good idea to argue for 15 minutes when they were on a strict time limit and we weren't, rather than just agreeing to like perfectly reasonable requests. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Really get it.
Okay, so you drew the first map, the one that was on the bad server.
We
Or
won
did
the
you do
first
this-
map that was on the shit server.
Okay, so you won the one that was on the shit server.
And then really we should have won the second map, like we were 3-0 up, and then we just got a bit shitty, and then we got a bit cocky, if you know what I mean, like complacent, and they just came back.
Let's go into
Okay.
autopilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I just wanted to know about that, little dispute really, because I didn't hear much about it other than Josh just
Yeah.
whining. Zavi, keep going.
Next results, Infused beat Punchline 4-2, which is where this is the game when Joey C got bashed for being a stoner.
Joey C's what?
Yeah, basically Infused won 7-2 on Badlands, then they lost to Golden Cap and Obscure 3-2.
7-1, that's an impressive score.
7-2.
Do we want to talk about the...
The stoner fiasco.
Yeah. What
Bas-
shall we? I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Zavi, go for it.
Yeah.
Go explain it.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Basically, Joey C PM'd Extremer of all people before the match and said, "Oh my god, I'm so stoned. Not even my team know. Shh." And obviously, Extremer's Extremer and PM'd everyone on his friends and small bets, including DJC, who was casting with Admirable. And then they went on to make some stoner jokes throughout the game, and VTV were not very happy.
It was a train wreck, absolute train wreck, Commander X. I can't believe it. I was so offended.
My fucking kids were watching Cadus. I was so upset.
People on the internet don't know about cannabis. It's just absurd.
Cannabis is
Yeah.
an urban.
So yeah, I think a lot of people actually thought that was one of the best casts of VTV have done for a while. So the people that were a little bit upset have, it seems, shut their mouths about it. We'll have to. I don't really know much more past that actual night where a lot of arguments happened, but let's leave it there and just keep going. We want DJC to cast more. I think he's casting on Thursday with Admirable again and with
Sick.
Boomy. So that's what BAD stands for. Boomy, Admirable, DJC. Brilliant acronym for them, isn't it?
I get it.
That sums it up, doesn't it?
Right, keep going, Zavi.
Finally was tonight's game of Deserto v Quarantine, which was 3-3 with Deserto winning Badlands, Quarantine winning Obscure. Greg, tell me more since you played in it.
Greg played TF2.
Yeah, I played Scout for the first time in 4 weeks.
I heard the number of frags on Obscure wasn't great for you, is what I heard. I
got into double
7,
figures.
20 minutes. Did you make double
I
figures?
made double figures, yes.
Woo! He made it.
But the bad lads I played pretty well, and we won. We went 4-0 up, and then I crashed with Jesus some like a power cut, and then we won 4-1. I think in the end. They had, the same sort of thing happen with UK with this as with you. Quarantine like being like, "Oh, Nutson's got to go." Oh, when they refused to pause because I was lagging. I lagged out of spawn. We asked for a pause, and they said no time. Like they did pause while I was disconnected though. So it's
Yeah,
all right.
when we played them, they shamelessly. I know Byte does this by accident because he's a fucking idiot, but they like shamelessly changed the map, and we're just like, "Fuck it, we haven't got time changing the map. Not waiting for SDV." And well, we queried them on it. We're like, "Wow, SDV lads," and like, "Fuck it, we're in a rush." So fuck you, N. That's shit.
Well,
Boom,
tonight,
boom, you don't
weren't
message
they-
me whining. You're shit. Fuck you.
Well, tonight, weren't they playing with Barabert on Soldier and Nutston on Scout anyway? So it's a bit
Yeah, like
more... Not even
I
full
th-
lineup anyway, so...
I think they were a little. Boomy was a little bit annoyed about that because they could have got, as he put in his own words, a prem level scout in, and Knutson played scout because he knows the team. And I think on Badlands he had like 4 frags in half an hour or something like that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much why they lost that. And then Obscure went 4-3 in the end with us pushing their last pushing their last as we like ran out of time. So it was still a pretty good second map, but the first map was slightly dull. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep going, Zavi.
That's it result-wise, unless I've missed something like usual. And we're on to the future.
The future.
Mm,
Right.
which I've not written it down, so you talk me through it.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's got it up? Cadis, do you have it up? Will you be able to go through the future
Can any of us get it up?
What? Look at what? Boomy's complaining at me on Steam. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He caught me out.
Why is
What's going
Boomy
on?
complaining you on Steam?
Oh, because it keeps bringing up the same argument we had in the game about why like 2 people lagging is a good reason to stay on the server. It's like, let it go. It doesn't matter.
Right, so there's a few games left. Punchline versus Infuse has happened. I'm looking at the wrong week. Fucking confirm your results on ETF12, you pricks.
Right,
Punchline
I think I'll tell you what the games are, right? So you've got Epsilon versus TCM tomorrow, Cadis. Is that right? 19th?
What?
Cadis?
Yes, that is confirmed for tomorrow, yes. Well, it's confirmed on paper. Whether it will actually happen or not remains to be seen.
Okay, that's for 21.
Yeah.
But apparently there's the Excello final, I think, is being played before that, between Epsilon and Infused. So that'll be at 8 CET. So do you want to do some predictions for those 2 games for those 2 days? So Infused Epsilon.
Infused Epsilon, Infused 2-1 for me.
Okay.
I'm going Infused as well. Epsilon don't look sharp anymore. Infused are going to win. Joey C can stay sober.
I think I'll go the same. I don't know because there's so many games, so many repeat games. I think the first one will go to Infused 2-1. I do think that. And then the TCM versus Epsilon game, I think will go 4-2 to Epsilon.
What maps is it?
I don't actually know. What maps is it, Cadis?
I think it's Gravel Pit and maybe Badlands. I could be wrong.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it's Gravel
Badlands.
Badlands. Yeah, it is then.
Okay, I'll stick with my 4-2. Then do you guys want to do results for those 2 games? That game, even sorry, the Epsilon.
My
TCM.
prediction is we won't play it because we're not going to wait when the Infused Epsilon game goes to 3 maps.
Okay.
Let me do my predictions quickly. I'm going 3-0, TCM to win Gravel Pit, Epsilon to win Badlands. I have to go let my housemates in. Be right back.
Oh, that's Commander X's ringtone, guys. Boom. So
Stuck in the
Chaplin.
70s.
Exactly. Let's keep going with these results then, of these matches, upcoming matches even. So we got another Infused versus Epsilon, Cadis. I don't know which one that is. I think that's one of the Excello. No, not Excello. One of like Velociraptor or Angels. One of the 2. Why don't you just do both of the Infused Epsilon results? The other 2.
I'm just going to... How many are there? Is there 4 games in total or 3?
So 4 games in total. 3 best of 3s
threes.
and 1 best of 2, which I don't know what map.
I'm just going to say 2 best of 3s to Infused, 1 to Epsilon, with all of them going to 3 maps, and then I'm going to say just 3-3 on the elite game.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go the same. I might actually go one of them being 2-0 to Infused, but the Epsilon win will definitely be 2-1, and the other Infused win will be 2-1. What about and 3-3 for the other game? I don't actually know what maps that's on. The Zavi, do you want to tell me what maps the Epsilon versus Infused game is?
Obscure and Gullywash.
Obscure and Gullywash. Okay. I am gonna go with a golden cap on Obscure from 0-0. Going
Nil.
to be a hold of middle to Epsilon. Okay? So the game is going to end 0-0 with Epsilon winning.
That is pessimistic.
And
Fair,
Infuse are
sounds
going to
fair.
win.
Sounds fair.
Infuse are going to win Gully Wash, so that'd be 4-2. That sounds about right, doesn't it? There we go. I think that's what's going to happen in that game. Zavi, what about you?
3-all. Infuse going to win Obscure. Epsilon v Gullywash.
Okay. Cool. We did the other two best of threes, so the Velociraptor and Angels as well. So just tell me.
I reckon Infuse will... Overall, they're going to play... Now, they're only playing 2 best of threes?
Are there any what?
Isn't it 2 best of... I reckon Infuse
There's
will
3
win
best
first.
of threes.
Yeah.
Excello, Angel, Velociraptor.
Right. I reckon Infuse are going to win the first best of 3, and Epsilon will win the last one, and the middle one's going to be a coin toss.
Okay. Cool. And for your... Oh, you said 3-all, didn't you, for the other one? Sorry, yeah.
3-all in...
Yep, so there's one other game, I think, which is Deserto versus Punchline. So what do you guys think to that?
What are the maps? It's always pretty important when
Obscure,
Punchline are
Gullywash.
playing. 6-0 Punchline.
Tech and Flippy going to tear it up.
Okay. I'm not playing, Quad's playing instead of me from what I think.
Oh, 6-0 to
Oh,
0.
well.
I thought that would change your mind. So yeah, so I think Deserto need 3 points to beat Quarantine. I'm not 100% to get 6th place ahead of Quarantine in the table. So I'm pretty sure everyone wants to try and do that to get ahead of them. So I would hope to say
6th place everyone wants when they start the season.
yeah, exactly. So I hope 3-all, but yeah, I doubt it. I think it'll be 6-0.
I don't think you
Punchline.
would stand a hope in hell on Obscure. Gully could be close, but I think Obscure... Well, you're not going to get rolled because a roll on Obscure just doesn't fucking happen. But after that slow 30-minute grind is over, Punchline will be on top comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Has a game on Obscure actually hit 5 rounds yet to one team? Has that happened yet this season? Pretty sure it hasn't. So
I don't think it's happened in Prem. Wasn't there a 4-all Obscure game? I'm pretty sure someone had a 4-all Obscure game. It was
There was a
casted.
4-3 QNV Deserto.
There you go. That's what it must have been then. So yes, Savvy, it did happen.
Be more wow. Nice map.
Props, guys,
Brilliant.
props.
Well done on your poor defenses.
I'm trying to find this post where F2 said what all their games were going to be.
It was certainly somewhere on vanilla.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay, so this is basically the whole schedule for the week. So Epsilon are playing Infused 20 tomorrow, then TCM 21. The same day will be Deserto versus Punchline, so that's 3 officials tomorrow. Epsilon playing in 2 of them. Wednesday will be the Velociraptor Cup, the final of Velociraptor Cup, which is winning 6 Velociraptor something or others HD drives, I think, and 150 euros, something along those lines. And that will be Infused versus Epsilon. That's on Wednesday at 21. Angels Cup, which is €750 for the winning team, is on the Thursday. Infused versus Epsilon. Sunday is Infused versus Epsilon in ETF2L. That's the whole week for you there, guys. So do try and watch as many games as possible. I'm pretty sure some of them will be casted. I think something's trying to happen tomorrow, but with the England game on, and then a lot of the casters being English in vanilla, we'll have to wait and see whether something happens there.
I'll
but do
cast.
stay tuned for that. So brilliant, Savvy. Well volunteered.
Put my name down on staff channel now, don't worry.
Cool. And I'm pretty sure that's most of our news for this week. The last bit of news is a controversial one, to say the least. Savvy, why don't you explain everything? Because it involves you.
Of course it involves me. Basically, Buffalo, we have to play Buffalo Bills team, Naughty Bad Men and EDF12 official 2 weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago today. Basically, we all changed our nicks in-game to various Buffalo Bill themed insults. And nothing was really said at the time. And then 2 weeks later, we got kicked from the league, more or less.
So what was the rule that they quoted to kick you from the league for that?
Repeat
Well, the thing
offences of flaming, I think, which is quite weird.
Well, okay, there's several weird things. Like, basically, if it wasn't for leaks information, I would have heard nothing about this until today, basically, which is ridiculous. Now I've not even been like mentioned. Like obviously we sort of knew it was coming, but you know when nothing's done for 2 weeks, you could almost see it just being blown over. But then we get sort of the kicks out of nowhere after we'd finally sorted all of our games. The second thing that's weird is the fact that we got 2 majors for the same thing, basically.
So you actually got kicked for majors, or you got kicked for repeat
They
events?
got
kicked
3
for
majors
majors.
overall. Because they had the major because they collected. Yeah.
We got 1 major for unplayed games, which is no complaints. We didn't play them, blah blah blah. That's fine. But it's the fact that we got 2 majors for this,
that has now officially kicked you guys from the league.
which is for what I find weird is because the rules are 1 major you get deducted a point, 2 majors you get deducted a second point, 3 majors you're out of the league, which is why giving us 2 majors is a big deal because it kicks us from the league.
Okay. Out of interest, did you guys flame in chat as well as your nicknames?
No.
It was
We
just
changed
the nicknames.
The way they're doing it is we changed our nicknames in game, which ETF2 counted as 1 offence. We changed our names on ETF12 for the night as well, in case. So if they said, please use your official ETF12 names, we could be like, lol, we are, because we're just not funny.
Yeah, the
And-
reason.
And that was
just
the
to cut in-
second one.
I was going to say to cut in, just to like clarify, the reason you got 2 majors is one was apparently for flaming, like the actual act of the insults, and the other was for harassment because it was clearly like a premeditated like group attack, which is logically that's fair enough if it wasn't like the most retarded like passive kind of flame in the fucking world. Nicknames, as Crouton has said, of the caliber of Buffalo Bull, like how that can ever justify like even any kind of
An
warning to
insult from
begin with.
1921.
It's just
to
fucking
clarify for
retarded.
everyone.
Also, while I'm going off on a monologue, I just want to, like, I'm not going to defend, like, Oybots entirely, because obviously it deserves some kind of punishment, but I am going to say the punishment is completely over the fucking top. I mean, they've got major warnings for flaming, quote, not first time. And I think that the logic
Yeah,
of why
2.
you get the logic of why you get a harsher punishment for it not being the first time is because you've already got a warning and been told, right, lads, don't do that, you're going to get punished. It's not because, like, you did it more than once. It's because you've done it and then been punished and then you do it again. But they've just
We're
yeah.
going out of our way.
It was like it was 1 instance, and they've been punished as if it was 5 instances. Like they've been punished for like 5 cases of harassment because 5 people were in on the harassment. When the only reason it even constitutes harassment is because there's 5 people in on it in the first place. It doesn't really make any fucking sense. Also, the rest of the team don't give a shit. It's just Buffalo Bill, who happens to be an admin, and I'm not gonna like round this up to admin abuse because, like I say, it is like legit. They broke the rules. They did a mean thing, so they deserve a little bit of punishment. But if it was anyone other than a fucking admin, I would laugh my way home if this happened.
I just want to add as well, like, Samsey quit the admin team today because he felt it was just heavily influenced by Buffalo Bill being in the admin team.
Yeah, like I literally saw
Corresponding
logs.
to how harsh our punishment is.
I'm not going to say where I got them from because I'm not going to drop anyone in it. But I literally saw logs where Buffalo Bill was like, "Oh, I demand they're banned. I demand they're banned. This is so out of order. I demand they're banned." It's like, come on, just come on. Man.
I've heard rumours as well as where he wanted us, all of us, except for Pokemon, who obviously didn't do it, all the 5 of us who changed our names, to be banned for like a few months. So we would be banned for like Nations Cup and stuff as well. Yeah. Which...
Can I just interject here, considering I am a trial admin and in this channel, it wasn't me. Just before anybody gets, like, in the admin channel might be listening to this, it wasn't me. Don't point fingers at me. Okay, thank you.
All right, Shaggy. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Good. Right, keep going.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, a ridiculous
So
decision.
we like,
I'm
what were the nicknames? Like,
I've
I know
deleted
one
the
was,
list.
I know one was Buffalo Bull Dyke. I mean, that one shouldn't get a warning
That was
anyway. Like, what
Crouton.
the fuck is that? It's not even an
basically,
insult.
We
It's
were
like,
discussing insults, and I came up with several, like Cuntufalo Bill, Buffalo Fucker Bill, Fuckalo Shit was Woody's, and that was pretty good. Buffalo Shit, classic. And then Crucian was like, I'm going to think of my own one, going off on one. So he's like Googling insults and stuff, and he comes up with like, I'm like, he looked it up. It's like a lesbian, calling someone a bulldyke is like a lesbian insult from like the 1920s. So that was really got to Buffalo Bill in that one, you know.
I legitimately, I refuse to believe that he's actually offended by this. Like, I mean, you did break the rules, so I'm not going to blame them for punishing you. I do think the punishment is retardedly harsh, but I just think He can't actually be offended by it. How much of a pussy would you have to be on the internet to be offended by someone calling you Buffalo Bull Dyke? Like, literally, it just seems like he's used his position to get people he doesn't really like banned. Like, I mean, yeah, and Buffalo Bill even admits he's not offended. So he literally has just used his position to get people he dislikes banned because it had no effect on him or the game.
All right.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not. It's also hurt other teams like Cedo, who pulled one over on us. I'm still calling it that because we still should have won, but they basically lost 6 points because we've been banned from the league. Like, it affects like all the results quite majorly, really, because like Justice League lose 6 points, whereas Naughty Badman only leave 3. You know, sort of things like this. It's
Does it actually affect who wins?
I wonder.
Well,
Yeah,
all our
because
points, all our points are wiped out, basically.
they dropped points to you, didn't they? They're just about the only people in the league bad enough to have dropped points to you.
Yeah,
Is that a
Man
coincidence?
21
Probably not.
Are the only ones who drop points, and obviously 21 doesn't affect them because they're just bottom. But like, it affects Atomic because they're now joint bottom on points, whereas they would have had 3 more points. Justice League would have been an extra 3 points clear, and I think be guaranteed the win. It's
Utter wilting vagina, Buffalo Bill. Sorry, mate, but it's just so sad. And again, like, they deserve some punishment, like a slap on the wrist. But fuck me, mate.
I just got a PM from Koichi. Apparently, they were the team that like dropped points to you. Is that right? So the actual so they were the team that dropped points to you. So getting you kicked from the league is the best thing from their point of view. I've just got a PM from Buffalo Bill saying I applaud you for making. Hang on, I salute you 3 for being able to make up some tremendous amounts of bullshit. That's what you said to me.
I'd like to say, could anyone call out anything I said to like?
Sorry, Bill, but either it's tremendous amounts of bullshit, or you were legitimately offended by these most retarded of insults. So you can really take your pick on that one. You look like a fucking retard either way, mate.
It's just ridiculous, and yeah.
Okay, well, I think we've covered that. We've had a little bit of a rant on that one. And there is actually some good news to end that I totally forgot about because Zavi forgot to put it in his list. I blame Zavi rather than, myself for not remembering, of course, which is...
I changed my name to something offensive about you, Greg.
Oh, have you? Oh,
Yeah,
XTV have announced, I don't know whether they announced it in their Extra Vision thing, but they probably did, that they will be sending an American team along with themselves to Ice 46. It is now confirmed. I say confirmed because they need donations. So, guys, go and donate to the I-46 Fund for the Americans if you have the spare cash and want to see an American team at I-46. Does anyone have the link available just to post it in chat? Basically, XTV announced they're going to send a team, and the team they will host a competition where they'll have the 4 best teams, the 4 teams that go to the LAN, will play in a round robin to get seeded, and then they'll get seeded and then play in a knockout tournament. I don't know whether it's double elim or single elim, and the winner of that tournament will go through and be the team they send to the LAN event. So they will be sending their best team from the time to I-46, which would be awesome. I'm pretty sure they need near $10,000 or something. I think it's
20k is the target.
Not to put a bad thing over this, but I'm pretty sure they're trying to raise money to send their own people there as well. So when you say 20k is the target, that includes the XTV guys as well.
20k for everything, 2 teams and
Are they trying to send 2 teams still, are they?
2 teams and their staff is what 20k will win.
I think 2 teams is really fucking optimistic, but I think 1 team is really possible, to be honest.
Yeah, I presume it will be sort of like if they only have enough for 1 team, just first place goes. Obviously, you know.
Yeah, the website says that the reason they're doing the tournament is like they're going to have a final, even though they want to send 2 teams, so both finalists will go through. They'll have the final to decide who will get it when it comes down to the fact they only get enough money for 1 team, which in all likeliness is probably going to happen. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but 20 grand in TF2 community just seems a bit of a big ask. But there is like so many people who want this to happen that I think enough for 1 team is like, I'm not going to say it will happen because obviously everyone will cry when it doesn't, but I think it's more likely to happen than to not happen at this point.
One of the things I just want to like chime in with here, someone posted in chat earlier saying they've already made $500 and something
They're on
in like less than an hour or something.
Already 7 contributors, $530 right
Fuck me, man. That's not bad.
Yeah. And like if the Australian scene actually put anything behind it, I know they have a lot of people that donate because most of the Australian cups like they play, like teams sign up to them via donating for charity and stuff, and they end up making like 10 grand for these cups that the Australian teams make. So if a few of their players, people get behind it, maybe. But and obviously the Americans always send people to ESCA land. They probably want to see them more at the I Series, so people might more likely donate for that. But I guess you
Ultimately
have to wait
end
and see.
the NA versus EU battle. I've also heard as well, and this is just obviously just more talk, but Flow are basically saying we're going regardless of where we finish in the XTV tournament.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah. Well,
they
that'd
say,
be awesome.
yeah,
They,
credit to
in
them.
theory, they should get top
Like,
two for sure. So I guess maybe if they come second, they would get something from XTV, and then they'd pay the rest. But if they get first, I guess they'd be entitled to taking.
Well, it's the same
trip.
with when I Series runs tournaments for free tickets. Like the Prem teams will still enter to save themselves a bit of money. Like it's not like some people are saying in chat now, why don't Flow just not enter the tournament then and give someone else a chance? But obviously, if you have the opportunity to get loads of money paid for you, you would.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool to have them there. And I have to say that I would put my, foot in it now, and probably say the US teams are better at the moment than the EU teams.
I'm +1ing Greg on this. Like
I
Flow and
think
Quantic on form.
I'd have to agree with you, but I think at the same time, for the last however fucking long, no Prem team, no top Prem team has really given TF2 their all. And I think something like this might just be the push that they need. Plus, you got to consider they're playing different maps and different rule set, which would lend a huge advantage to EU teams. Like, quite large, I think.
I think that's going to be quite an important thing. But this cup that ESCA will be run on the EU rule set.
Yeah, I know that.
So,
I know they're going to be prepared for it, but I mean, our judgment of how good American teams look, you got to take into account they're actually
Yeah.
going to be learning a lot of different, new things as well.
yeah, definitely. But they do put a lot more time into learning how to do things than we do
Yeah,
in
If-
but
Europe.
that's what I
if
mean.
they-
But I think I'm just going to say I think this motivation for some teams at least will be enough to make them maybe give it the 100% they haven't for the last however fucking long, like Epsilon and Fuse. Don't know about Epsilon because obviously their boys are just shagging Shootmania, but hopefully the others.
See, I still don't think it'll be enough for Infuse because I know that they won't want to play more than the 3 nights a week, no matter what. I don't think it would. Maybe
just
for an
don't,
extra
just-
couple of weeks
just-
before the
isn't it
event,
'cause-
but
Isn't it because Dunk is like busy or something?
or like they're
I'm ready for the
people
step
are
up. Like,
busy
Seb,
on different
DM me.
days. Yeah, Dunk's busy on some days, Mike's busy on others, and they don't want to put any more time into it. They're Numlock putting in chat they don't need any more days. That's how confident he is already.
But
So
it's-
there you go.
It's not even like the days they PCW. I mean, realistically, the teams don't PCW that much more. It's just the fact the players themselves play a lot more. Like in America,
Yeah.
like you see them all playing all the time. Like they got an official, they're playing all day, they're playing after it, doing mixes and stuff. But you only see that from like a handful of Prem players.
Yeah, definitely. The top teams don't enjoy the game really as much anymore, so they don't play those extra time because they enjoy playing the game a certain amount, and if they overplay that, they just get really bored. So there's no point them playing outside of officials, really. And I think that's what a lot of players look at in this game, especially Dunk, Numlocked, the Infused, the top guys at Infused. I'd say that. And while yourself, Kalish, you play a lot. Like Bite doesn't play very much. I know when he doesn't have the time to, but when he does, he wants to. But is there
He
anybody
fucking
else?
plays loads,
Really?
but he just does it all on fucking Dust Bowl servers.
Right.
But plays as much as anyone, just in a completely useless format.
So are you the team to step up, TCM, to topple the American teams, Cadus?
No.
I'm not putting money on it.
I mean, we'll probably practice more than other teams just because we need to, because we're catching up. Like, we got to play catch up to even the European teams, so we'll
Well,
play more
further to
probably
catch
than the
up.
others. But
You have to catch up a little bit so you can at least get that third place. Because if an American team come, you're not going to get third place anymore, are you?
no, it's cool. The brackets will favour us nicely. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. So, is there anything more for us to talk about? Actually, I do want to talk about one more thing, which is the playoff spots. They're already guaranteed in Prem. So, first and second place are still up for grabs. Epsilon play TCM, and even if Epsilon 6-0 that, it comes down to the Epsilon Infused game, which is being played on Sunday at the end of the week. Whoever wins that, if one of the teams wins that 6-0, then they guarantee first. But there's still, a little bit of leeway with draws and stuff. And the other two spots, Punchline and TCM, have guaranteed third and fourth. They can't get to second, so that means that the third, fourth game in the playoffs will be TCM versus Punchline, but they will be playing for who gets like the map picks first. So from third place, that you get the the bonus from being in third. So that's pretty much it from there. Is there anything more to talk about? Actually, there's
I
one
got something.
thing.
I got one thing as well.
Go for it.
Oh, my PC's lagging so badly. I need to get a link. You go yours first
I've
because
got
I'm
the link.
lagging. Okay, put the
Okay.
link up. Okay, I know we've discussed the Americans going to I-46, but that's really just the precursor to the far more important fundraiser going on at the moment. Everyone's favorite Uber dropper, the sucker, has got a nice group of friends trying to get him to I-46. They've got a fundraiser going on of their own. It's got like quite a lot of money. It also only went up today, and they're doing quite well. But I think they need a little bit more just to get the sucker to the event. I mean, I've sorted him out a PC, and someone sorted out a monitor, things like that. But the sucker's got to eat. So if you got any spare change lying around, he'd really appreciate it.
Do we know what
Yeah.
his target is? Like, what does he need to get to make
I
it?
really have no idea. I think it lists on the page how much his flight is likely to cost, and obviously he needs the entrance as well. But he's doing
at
pretty
100
well.
He's at 145 euros at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's his ticket, and starting now to pay for the flight. So I think he'll do it. Just needs a little bit of extra support from his fan club or whatnot.
They're saying about 320 odd euros. That's for like plane ticket and like entry fee. So I
Yeah.
presume he can pay for his own accommodation and food. And I think there's also some sort of raffle thing going on as well. There's more details on the site. Like some raffle thing if you donate, so you could get something back out of it.
Yeah, cool. So I go donate to either of them guys. You get the choice out of two of the donations. I think I know which one I'd donate to.
Come on, the
Sucker, obviously.
Yeah, easily. So there is the last thing, the last shout out I have to do is please do tune in for our next week's episode, guys. If you want to hear about all the ESEA pre-LAN stuff, we're going to have CBET and DJC on to talk about the four teams as like a prelim to the LAN events, which is obviously on, I think, the 30th and the 1st. Or, it's around the 1st of July and that weekend. So I could just press my calendar and find out. Oh, the 30th and the 1st. I was right. So, yeah, do tune in. I don't think we're going to do it on the Sunday because I'm working, but we might do it on the Monday again. Anything more from you guys before we go? Cadis? No?
Give the sucker money. Yeah, boy. Oh, Sam needs a PC for I-46. He's a nice guy. I was going to give him mine if the sucker's fundraiser failed, but it doesn't look like it's going to, so he needs one now.
If we're doing that sort of thing, I also need a lift from Kent. If anyone.
Fuck off. Get a train, you lazy bastard.
Oh, but how am I going to carry my PC, Cadus?
You don't need a PC. No one's going to have you on the team.
Probably not. I might just not go. Just spend.
You could get a train to mine, Xavi, and then I'll drive from there. I'm not driving to Kent.
It's
now,
really solved the
unfortunately.
problem of taking the PC on the train. But thanks anyway.
It does. You just put it on a suitcase and lug it onto the train, but then once you're there, as long as you get a lift from the station, you haven't got to lug it onto a bus or something. You're all right.
Anyway,
You're all right.
Anyway.
You're all right.
that's it from us, guys. We will see you next week for the ESEA LAN preview and probably our actual, ETF2L playoff preview as well. We might as well do something along those lines next week, so do tune in. See you then.